1947, in an undisclosed location somewhere in the New Republic, a new threat has emerged inside of the city. Lil Peacock and his new occult forces, fueled by the emu genetics from the Rift, look to overthrow the local government. But the real Heinrich Gross and Vanessa Boschwick will do anything to try and stop these traitorous scum. Will Lil Peacock be victorious in battle, or will he be stopped once and for all in this week's game of Konflikt 47? Hey, how's it going? Mike from Mike Rolls Dice, and we have another battle report of Konflikt 47 today. First off, I want to give a quick shout out to all of our YouTube members here on the channel, and to everyone who watches the channel here. I couldn't do it without you folks. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get into the army list, starting off with Rev's Axis forces. So starting off for Rev's Axis forces here, coming in at just around 1,500 points, starting off with the 1st Assault Platoon. We have Vanessa Boschwick, the platoon commander for the 1st Assault Platoon here. And she's actually the twin sister of Helga Wunderpump, who you're going to be seeing in Lil Peacock's forces. So next up is Heinrich Gross. He has 2 bodyguards with the advanced body armor rule, as well as the ability to have a pseudo snap 2 and allow units to go again. Then we have a Nachtballen squad, and these are all equipped with the MP40 Schmeiser SMGs with the added pen bonus. And then we have another Nachtballen squad with 7 troops, again equipped with the upgraded SMGs. Then we have a 6 Nachtjäger squad here. They have the ability to charge and pseudo drop down on a unit and attack before they get to fight. Next up, we have a Walker platoon with the Panzer IV Walker, and this is damage value 9 with the Schwerfield cannon. Then we have another Nachtjäger squad, another 6-man, and 1 more Nachtballen squad, again equipped with the SMGs. That rounds out Rev's forces, again coming in around 1,500 points. And now on to my Axis forces. So this is my occult Axis army, quite different than the Green Hand. And starting off, we don't have Heinrich Gross, we have Lil Peacock, who'll be filling in for Heinrich Gross. He has 3 emu bodyguards equipped with the MP40 Schmeisers as well. And being that he's subbing in for Heinrich Gross, he has all the abilities that Heinrich Gross and his bodyguards have with the advanced body armor rule. And bringing his girlfriend along today, the twin sister of Vanessa Boschwick, we have Helga Wunderpump, wonderfully named by Tiki the Hut, and she has an extra bodyguard. Then we have 2 6-man, or I should say 6 zombie squads of Totenkor. These have the ability to regenerate at any point in the turn. Then we have 3 Schreckwolfen. Heinrich Gross can use his Rift Mastery, for instance, to give them a surging die to make them damage value 8. Then for Assault Platoon number 2, we have a inexperienced platoon commander officer. We have a 12-man inexperienced Volksgrenadier squad with 1 single LMG as well as a loader. For un unbestehenden Peacock! Then we have 2 3-man Nachtjäger squads. And again, these have the same ability as Rev's Nachtjägers. They can essentially charge somebody out in the open and fight first, or negate the defensive position. And then last but not least, we have an armored platoon with the Panther X, downgraded from the light Shinen cannon to the super heavy anti-tank gun.
Panther X here. Ready for your orders, Lil Peacock.
And then we also have a regular Puma here with the Schwerfield cannon and damage value 8. And coming in around 1,500 points, that's Lil Peacock and my occult Axis forces. So for the battlefield today, you could see we have some city ruins, and Lil Peacock and his crew are trying to take over the local municipality and try and seize power in this area of the city. Today we're going to be playing a modified Grand Tactical Mission Rule set with 2 central objectives and needing to kill units. So Rev's forces are going to have to try and stop Lil Peacock from taking the two central positions. One is the second-story red brick building house, and the other one is the 3-story ruined buildings. So those two central buildings, the players will have to try and hold till the end of the game and score points. And the other way we could score points is by killing each other's units. So we'll be getting 1 point for each unit killed, and then a certain amount of points for holding the objectives at the end of the game. Terrain layout's pretty simple. Yellow and red buildings, you can go inside. The ruins are ruins, and the two darker red industrial buildings will be impassable terrain. And some of the random trees providing soft cover. Infiltrators are up here, and the Totem Corps are infiltrating first, getting a forward position in the center and right by the 2-story red brick house, which is one of the central objectives. Now also having infiltrator as well, Rev infiltrating his 3 knocked ballin squads, one being on the other central objective opposite of where the Totem Corps are, and the other 2 knocked ballin squads further back near his deployment, getting ready to push out near the start of the game.
Take cover, brothers. Soon we shall feed on the traitor's flesh.
And with the infiltrators deployed, we can get started with the game with the start of turn 1. Start of turn 1 here, and Rev deploying both of his Nachtjäger squads on the sides here. And with their fast movement and their flight, they can either move 12 with an advance or 18 with a run. Vanessa Boschwicht is up next, and she uses her Rift Mastery and actually gives a Surging Dice to the Nachtjäger up on the northern side of the table. Followed up by the real Heinrich Ross, Please Stand Up, who deploys and uses his Rift Mastery as well to give a Surging Die to the Nachtjäger.
Get ready! The traitors shall die in the streets.
So seeing the Nachtjägers hit the board, I decided to deploy my Emu Nachtjägers on the southern flank here near the small yellow brick building. And the inexperienced platoon commander makes his way and deploys by the Totem Corps, followed up by Helga Wunderpump and her inexperienced bodyguard, who also deploy by the Totem Corps on the north side of the table. The Puma armored car drives onto the board here with an advance. It's going to be activating its Schwerfield cannon's Rift Dice and getting a template on the Nachtjägers. But only managing to take 2 of the Nachtjägers out. So Lil Peacock's other 3-man Nachtjäger squad are deploying behind the ruined buildings, looking to get some cover and push out later. And Rev choosing to go in ambush with the other Nachtballen squad on the central objective. Running onto the board, the 12-man inexperienced Volksgrenadier squad on Lil Peacock's side moves onto the board. Followed up by the 3-man Schreckwolfen squad, eyeing up the Nachtballen on the other side of the ruins, looking to get a charge at a later turn. So Lil Peacock moving onto the board with his Emu bodyguards, immediately using his Rift Mastery to convert a dice to Surging and give it to the Schreckwolfen to make them damage value 8.
Use the Emu inside you, cuz. Get ready to rip them to shreds.
And running out from behind the industrial red building, Rev pushing out with his Nachtballen squad, and they're going to be taking aim after an advance, firing their advanced SMGs at the Totem Corps.
There between the houses, the undead. Gun them down!
Managing to take a couple of the Totem Corps out. And then using their ability, activating a Rift Dice to go in ambush after activating. The other Nachtballen squad just running now, getting towards the central objective and where the Totem Corps are.
Prepare yourselves. They're close.
And the Panther X is moving onto the board, it's going to be shooting its MMGs at the Nachtballen on the left and firing a template with the super heavy anti-tank gun at the Nachtballen that just moved up to the central objective.
Target acquired.
Getting the template shot for the HE profile here on the super heavy anti-tank gun.
Firing HE round.
But it unfortunately misses. So Totencore are activating now. They're just going on ambush here. And the Panzer IV Walker moves onto the board with its Schwerfield cannon. And it's attempting to take a shot at the Panther.
The traitors! Fire!
But it unfortunately misses. So the other Totencore squad are going on ambush as well, looking to leap out from behind the ruins if the Nachtballen move forward. And we're finishing turn 1 here. Rev does have a ton of units in ambush. He's going to be trying to activate the one unit and firing at the Totencore. So I decide to replenish the unit before he shoots at them. But it doesn't go off on a 3. So end of turn here, rolling the Rift Dice for all the units. Rev does have some units on ambush here, but no available shots. And with that, that is the end of turn 1, and we're moving on to the start of turn 2. I started turn 2 here, and Rev is taking his form, and Rev is taking the Nachtjäger squad, which got shot by the Puma, and charging into the Totencore, using their Rift ability to be able to attack first before the Totencore. And managing to take 4 out of the 6 out, with the Totencore now fighting back. With the lucky 6 taking out a Nachtjäger, and with the second round of combat, Totencore taking 1 more Nachtjäger out, but unfortunately losing the whole squad. Forgetting that I had Totencore still on ambush from last round, I actually could have sprung my ambush and charged them, but we realized after, and I didn't want to go back and change it all. So ambushing before they reconsolidate, the Totencore now charge into the Nachtjäger. And with 3 6s, they managed to take out the Nachtjäger, only losing 1 of the Totencore. Consolidating back an inch. So Helga Wunderpump and her bodyguard are moving forward now. Quickly, we must take cover! After running forward using her guts to put the Totencore's dice back in the bag. And with me pulling the dice out immediately, I charge into the Nachtballen with the Totencore, with them being within 6 inches, meaning that they don't get to fire before charging. Now, my undead, feast on the flesh! Unfortunately, the 5-man Totencore only managing to take out 1 of the Nachtballen, with all of the Totencore getting struck down. So now the Panther's up next, and it's going to be firing its super heavy anti-tank at the Panzer IV Walker and its hull-mounted MMGs at the Nachtballen.
Quickly! Turn it down! Fire!
Passing its order test before firing its MMGs. And then firing the super heavy anti-tank gun and managing 2+ over full damage roll, and with a result over 4, taking out the Panzer IV. So now the Puma armored car is activating, and it is advancing forward, getting within point-blank range of the Nachtballen. And it's going to be using its Rift Dice here for its Schwerfield.
Gun them down, damn it!
With the Nachtballen going down in response to half the number of shots.
Fire the Schwerfield!
And luckily, having the number of shots had a huge impact, with Rev only losing a few of the Nachtballen. So Axis Platoon Commander now is activating, using his guts to put the Puma dice back in the bag, and still having an active dice from Helga Wunderpump, and pulling its order dice back out of the bag, it can now activate its active rip dice and fire again with the Schwerfield cannon with its template against the Nachtballen. The Puma is able to take out a couple more of the Nachtballen, and they pass the morale test so they don't flee. The inexperienced Volksgrenadiers are moving forward, firing a couple rifle shots at the Nachtballen.
Quickly! The demons are there! Fire!
Unfortunately, to no effect. And now the Nachtjägers are running forward from around the side of the building to in front of the terrain, forcing the Nachtballen on the other side to move into the terrain if they want to shoot them. Rev is running forward with his Nachtjägers on the south side of the board, moving closer towards that central objective, followed by the Schreckwolfen, and I'm running them forward as well, keeping them behind cover from the Nachtballen, but ready to charge the Nachtjägers. Little Peacock activating with his Emu bodyguards. He's also going to be running forward, taking some cover behind the buildings here, but getting close enough to be able to potentially use guts or have the morale bonus for the Schreckwolfen. And getting close enough to the Schreckwolfen now while staying behind cover, he's going to be using a point of guts to put the Schreckwolfen's dice back in the bag.
Stop standing around doing nothing. Let's get to killing.
But the real Heinrich Gross on the other side of the board is using his Snap 2 ability here, and after taking a run order and moving around the side of the building to move towards the center of the board, the Nachtjäger are now activating again because they had a run order dice, and they're now charging into the Schreckwolfen before they can pull their dice out of the bag. Rev activating his Rift ability here to be able to fight first, and they do have a surging die as well for added pen bonus. And with a single hard to kill failed roll, they take out one of the Schreckwolfen, which are now going to fight back. With them managing to take out two of the Nachtjäger, and now on to the second round of combat. The Nachtjäger managing to get two successful damage rolls even through the toughness 8, but the Schreckwolfen managed to take out the entire Nachtjäger squad in response. So now the Nachtballen on the other side of the ruins are advancing into the ruins. Now they can take point blank shots at the Nachtjägers that I ran forward. Shooting their MP40 Schmeisers with the +1 pen, they managed to wipe the entire Nachtjäger squad. And then activating their Rift dice, they can now go on ambush. It's a very good ability with this unit. So now the Nachtballen squad on the other side of the board are activating, and they're advancing forward. They're going to be getting within point blank range with some of the models in the unit, and getting a side profile shot on the Puma, which is damage value 8.
Quickly while it's distracted. Fire at the weak point.
Weapons that are not within range firing first. And the ones with the added bonus next. Getting 2 successful damage rolls. Rolling on the damage table, getting a 6. Manages to take out the Puma. And then the Nachtballen activate the Rift Dice, going back on ambush. So after seeing the Puma blowing up, the Little Peacock's last remaining Nachtjäger squad runs over to that side of the board, looking to reinforce. And Venetia Boschwick is now running forward, moving closer towards the Nachtballen that just took out the Puma.
Where are you, sister? I shall find you.
And with that, that is the end of turn 2 here. Units are quickly getting wiped off the board, but Rev has his ambushes that he's looking to spring before the end of the turn. On a 4-up, the Nachtballen in the ruins will be firing at Little Peacock.
What the hell is this, cuz? They get to shoot like 2-3 times a turn.
Having +1 pen, the advanced body armor does not do anything here. Attempting to save here, unfortunately the emu bodyguards are taken out, just leaving Little Peacock.
Damn it!
Now the other Nachtballen that took out the Puma are using their ambush here and firing at the Nachtjäger squad, taking one of them out. With the ambush is sprung, that is officially the end of turn 2. Moving on to the start of turn 3. So start turn 3 here, and the Nachtballen are activating. They need to pass an order test, and they're going to be attempting to charge the Panther X. Now hearing these beasts run around the corner, the Panther X turns its turret, and it's going to be firing its MMGs and an HE profile shot at the Nachtballen before they reach it.
Quickly! Fire at them! They're running straight at us!
The MMG's having some effect, but unfortunately missing with the HE template. And the Nachtballen now charging into the Panther. They pass their order test, even with the tank fear. And they're going to be making some attack and adding any successful attacks up for a single damage roll. And getting a successful full damage roll and a damage table roll of a 6, they manage to take out the Panther in close combat, and then activate their Rift Dice to go on ambush. Which was a very good move because the Little Peacock unfortunately only has a 6-inch pistol, and Rev staying outside 6 inches kind of left Little Peacock with no choice but to try and either run or fight. Now the real Heinrich Gross is moving out into the center of the board here, and Little Peacock, being stuck in the open, is choosing to run, attempting to dodge around the corner of the building here before being taken down by the MP40 Schmeisers. Triggering Rev's ambush on the Nachtballen. The Nachtballen are going to attempt to take Little Peacock out.
Screw this, I'm out of here, cuz.
And with some successful damage rolls, Little Peacock using his last point of guts and getting the 6 here, he manages to get away unscathed. The Nachtballen here by that central objective, after killing all the Totem Core, are now going into that objective and claiming it. And Helga Wunderpump now is running, looking to move closer towards the Nachtjäger here, and give her Rift Dice to the Nachtjäger, so they have 2 active Rift Dice.
Yes, now you can harness your true power.
Looking back, I probably should have used the Nachtjäger, because now Rev pulling a dice out of the bag and the Nachtballen moving even closer within point blank range, firing at the Nachtjäger squad.
You fools!
Again, being equipped with the special MP40s with the +1 pen, being within point blank range, they easily take out the 2 remaining Nachtjägers. And then again, activating the Rift Dice, going on ambush. So Heinrich Gross now moving forward and getting within range with his special pistol, and the 2 bodyguards with their MP40s, they're going to be firing at Little Peacock now. With nowhere left to hide, Little Peacock is finally slain.
My emus, no!
So the inexperienced Volksgrenadiers are charging right towards Heinrich Gross after seeing their leader taken out, and are going to be firing their rifles and LMG at the other Axis leader.
Von Uberstein, Little Peacock! Kill him!
But being inexperienced and having to move, they actually managed 2 successful damage rolls, leaving just the real Heinrich Gross.
You traitors! All of you will perish today.
So the inexperienced platoon commander now is moving forward, trying to figure out what happened to all of his units over there, but unfortunately the Nachtballen spring their ambush. And with that, that is the end of turn 3. Things aren't looking good for Little Peacock and his crew. We're moving on to the start of turn 4. Start of turn 4 here. There's only one thing left on the board to be done. Vanessa Boschwick challenges Helga Wunderpump, her twin sister, now traitor, to a pistol duel in the center of the board.
How could you do this, my sister? You don't know Little Peacock like I do. You idiot! After all I've done for you. After all the hard work to get this family to the position of power. And you blew it all for a bird, man.
With Vanessa finding her mark after a serious pistol fight.
Well, you can see your Little Peacock in hell, my sister.
She takes out her twin sister. And with that, Little Peacock's forces start crumbling all across the board. And the local Axis forces, with Heinrich Gross, have managed to stabilize the uprising and restore order back to the local sector here in the city. Well, that was a lot of fun, finally debuting Little Peacock's full army here. Unfortunately, Rev seemed to have the better occult army. I gotta say, the Nachtballen, I gotta get me some of those. The ambush ability after activating and firing those MP40s was fantastic. And I definitely could have played things better, but overall it was fun having this kind of intense battle with tons of units on this 4x4 board. The 4x4 definitely led to a quick game, to say the least. But nonetheless, we had fun debuting 2 new Axis armies here on the channel. And shout out to Rev for coming and playing as always. And shout out to our YouTube members here on the channel. The support means a lot. And thank you so much to everybody who's watching the channel here. We've been getting a lot of new subscribers. So feel free to subscribe for more content and other battle reports here in the future. Well, my name is Mike from Mike Rolls Dice. Thank you so much for watching. We have more Konflikt here planned in the near future, as well as some different war games like Turnip 28, as well as one-page rules. Well, my name is Mike from Mike Rolls Dice. Until next time, keep rolling high on those dice.